Would you kindly pass me a donut?
Donut? What's a donut?
The Escape Pod.
Yes, I'm Jezbot.
I'm Timmy Tucko.
And I'm Sean Enough.
And welcome to Turnstile Records presents The
Escape
Pod.
Pod.
The Escape Pods.
And Sean Enough, thank you for coming back.
G'day, thanks for having me.
Yeah, we had a four-way last week, and
I'm still recovering.
Well, I was just saying that it's,
No, I wasn't there.
Such a tough edit for four blokes fighting for top dog position.
Look, I wanted to try it out.
Yeah, it was
four-way. We haven't done it in a
It
while.
completely works.
I love it, but the edit must be a nightmare.
It is. Well, a standard 1 hour pod takes me at least 2 hours. So times that by 155 are we up to? That's a shitload.
That's a lot of work.
It is. So let's get through an episode without an edit. We can.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Bananas.
Oh, God damn it.
Sorry.
You know how I am with bananas?
Continuity.
Now, you do know that we just started recording again because the
Yeah. Oh, is that what that red light means?
Yeah.
Oh, I've never worked in a studio, Jeremy.
Well, you know. So no work tomorrow, Tim. Apparently, you got hotted off or wetted off or just slacked off.
I think I just got whacked off. So it was good.
Speaking of whacking and wacko,
Yeah.
please don't watch that Michael Jackson documentary if you want to listen to Michael Jackson again.
Well,
I'm not watching
it
it.
was on TV, and I called Jezbot to say, hey man, that because I was at a gig, and I found out that it was on TV. I don't even know how I found that out, but I thought I better call the key players that are interested. Mum, because she loves a good conspiracy.
Yep.
Vanessa.
Conspiracy?
Vanessa,
keep going.
because I come home at night and Vanessa's still got all the lights on in the house. She's walking around cleaning the house. I'm like, you ever tried a lighting and promotions? Turn the lights on. She's like, that's much better. So I give her things to watch. I say, you should go on Netflix and watch this. She'll be like, oh yeah, cool, I will. Yeah, thanks for that. And I called Jezbot, and I was like, oh, which one of those people could get it for me to record it? So I said to Jeremy, could you tape it for me? He's like, tape it? What the hell?
What are you talking about?
So it made me think of other catchphrases that are long gone. I'm not going to put us on the spot. Maybe we can do this next week. But phrases that are just outdated that you just can't say anymore because it's not relevant. You can't chuck a VHS into the old JVC VCR.
Can I use your home phone?
Have you got a landline?
Yeah. Have you got a fax?
Yeah. Where's the teledex?
Do people still use faxes? Is that still a thing?
Where's the yellow pages?
Where? Yeah.
Or
Where's the white
Can you chuck
pages?
us the Melways?
Chuck us the Melways. Brisways if you're in Brisbane, and Sidways if you're in Sydney.
Oh,
which
that
was
makes
very
sense.
confusing as a young man.
So yeah, and every single person that you tell that to is amazed by it and didn't know it.
Yeah. And all we have now is...
Brisways. And if you're in Brisbane and you're trying to go to a food court, they call it an eatery.
Really?
Yeah, because that's where you eat.
And they also call
Yeah, that's true.
a swimming pool a pool.
A
A
pure.
pure.
So in that, I called Vanessa and I said, you should watch it. At least watch it, because then when I get home, you can tell me about what happened with the MJ documentary.
Yeah.
Yeah. Help me form my opinion on Michael Jackson.
Yeah, could you please? And I came home and she was she couldn't have been wedged further into the corner of the couch, cuddling a pillow and peering over the top. I went, "Is it good?" She went, "It's not good.
It's not good.
It's not good."
It's not good. I had the same response. It was a tough watch. The second part is even tougher than the first.
Two times tougher.
Because you haven't seen the second part.
Not yet.
Tim,
I was
and
gonna try and-
sure enough, you haven't watched.
I refuse to watch it, Jez.
Yes.
So we cover the entire demographic.
And I've been an MJ fan all my life. One of my first nightmares was, well, I've said it on the podcast before, I'm sure, I had the Michael Jackson Thriller poster. And it really freaked me out. And I can still sort of remember that nightmare.
And ironically, the guy in the documentary is talking about his first nightmare was Michael Jackson too.
And, okay, so not to harp on about Michael Jackson being a fucking son of a bitch, right? The question I was asking myself, I said to myself, what's Timmy Taco going to do? Because if we have a segment on this podcast, it's called Wetiquette. And there's 7 types of weddings, Tim.
There's 3.
Okay.
And no, there's you've got your big fat Greek wedding.
Mm-hmm.
You got your it's basically templates that there's the people that skip in and do a bit of a performance, and it's very look at us, we're gonna entertain you. It's your standardized, pretty normal,
like a Catholic
enter, cake cut, traditional kind of thing.
Photos.
And then there's a few others, but in each one of those scenarios, I have a method of kicking off an everyman set, like a general audience kind of set, and it usually kicks off with an MJ track.
Yeah, that's
Because
the
it's,
first one that
a
gets...
guaranteed thing.
Well, if I'm at the wedding, if Cass and I are at the wedding, he'll play...
What a track.
Yeah.
well, not anymore. Not anymore. And there will be Jezbot on the dance floor going for it, and it starts
Grabbing his crutch.
Yeah, and it starts a thing. It really starts a dance floor up, and you'd probably follow up a Michael Jackson with a
Something.
Shaka Khan, because that's really working, isn't it? That bus stop song that no one likes.
Like Sugar.
So what is Tim going to replace this Michael Jackson?
That's the
with?
thing. Like, is there anybody out there? We've got superstars that we've lost. Your David Bowies. Can't start a set with David Bowie because you're already dividing the room.
Yeah.
You know, Prince.
Although you can't ever beat a little bit of "Let's Dance."
Yeah, but I sort of get to
Put
that.
on your red
Shoes and
Yeah.
dance the yellow leathers. Yeah, I can go there, but I have to work the crowd up to that because that's kind of it's a well known, but it's kind of it's right in the thick of the Countdown Revolution kind of
True.
top 10. So
80 styles.
yeah, so if I go Michael Jackson, I'm setting it up. I could go disco, I could go 80s. Like I could spawn off judging on.
Yeah, you can go
who jumps
straight
up.
into Queen B, Beyonce from there. You can go into the future.
You could jump.
you don't
you could
wanna-
jump straight off it because it's R&B. It's popular.
It's all that, isn't it?
Dare I say, you don't want to pop your Michael Jackson load too quickly on a dance floor. I think if you come in too strong with an MJ song, well, how are you going to back that up?
Well,
Most people will exit the dance floor when you put on, say, the Proclaimers. I would walk 100 miles. Or
Now,
1,000.
if
I walk 100 miles from the D floor when that track comes on. Typically, it will talking about songs that divide the dance floor. That's my time to
divide.
yeah.
So I don't really have exactly a replacement artist for that. Is there anybody that springs to mind? I've got
Well, you've
Pharrell.
got your Justin Timberlake.
Yeah,
He's
same.
a-
You come to
he's
mind.
dancey.
Or Pharrell, Timberlake's.
Good. They work together.
Who else we got?
But I've got to win over the whole room. I've got to win over every generation. You see, so it spans across the 70s, 80s, 90s, and beyond. Probably not 90s with Michael Jackson, but the age group. It's a very relatable, funky beat that
Well,
people can get down
you've
to.
been trying, like I was saying, the Shaka Khan sample, or the
Yeah,
it's basically the bus stop.
yeah. It's like Sugar is the track.
And you couldn't figure out why it was clearing the dance floor because you and I love this song. It's you bought the Shaka Khan album, didn't you? Lovely lady. Funky stuff. Good to go on the dance floor, but it's been clearing the dance floor. And as it turns out, I've discovered it's a car ad.
Yeah,
That's
see, one of my worst requests I've ever had for what to play next is a chick came up to me and said, "Can you play the Kmart ad song?" I'm like, what are you talking about?
What about? Have you ever had a request for the Coles ad? Down, prices are down, prices are down. No, but I know what the answer is. The song that will span across all generations.
Please.
It's Sean Mullen's Lullaby. And he tells a story about
She feels safe now in Sparrow and Fairfax.
Got that. It's got that.
Spoken word.
Yeah, and it's got the.
It's one of those. It's one of those.
Nice fade out,
It's one of those. Am I rapping? Am I talking? Am I singing? No, I'm not any of those.
No.
And do you?
None
think,
of that.
I mean, I would. I don't know if I
How
could dance.
that-
I don't know if I could dance to that, Sean.
This is what happens. People come up and request stuff like that, and I'm like,
yeah.
and then I reluctantly play it, and then it packs the dance floor. I'm like, that I didn't see coming.
Yeah, like that.
So-
But last time
Yeah.
you were playing a 50th, and they were play Barnsey. You were playing all this cool shit, and they were like, play Barnsey. And you're like, oh,
No.
dude, I don't want to play Barnsey. You played Barnsey with a little beat underneath,
Yeah,
and geez, you should have
I
seen
played
that.
Flaming Trees because it's up there. It's a
Flame
Just-
trees.
just flame trees.
Flame Trees.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or tree.
Tree.
Flame
Flame
tree.
tree.
Not
Flame
fla-
trees.
Singular.
Yeah, and
Trees.
they're not
Flaming
on,
trees.
They're not on fire. It's a type of plant.
Is it?
Yeah, it's more about the flower. It's
Oh my
red.
God, that really puts a dampener on the old theme of the song.
Mm.
I thought it was about the bushfires.
No.
Okay. And I put a beat to it. Sean Enough. They all got up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they loved it.
You put a bit of thump into it. Well, that's
I
it.
did.
You could write that one down.
I did.
Write it down, definitely.
Okay. All right, sorry, I'll write it down. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
But there could be your answer. There, within that, could be your answer. You maybe the answer you're looking for, that band that's going to really bring the dance floor alive now. Michael Jackson's off limits is right under your nose. You just need to put a bit of a beat underneath something that's already there.
I need to sniff it a bit
You need
harder.
to put a beat under the Kmart ad.
True. Yep. What is it? Down.
prices are down. Coals down. Look, I don't know about all that. I think there's plenty of artists we could go to. What I don't want to find out is because, when Bobby Brown was, Bobby Brown's a piece of shit.
Yeah, sure.
Yep.
And he really,
Apparently.
apparently, allegedly, but I think he was.
Well, it's his prerogative, so.
You don't hear any of Bobby Brown anymore on the radio, do you? Because no one really gives a shit. You don't hear Tie Me Kangaroo Down Sport by the other fucking...
Those guys.
What was that guy?
Yeah.
Another rock crawler, Rolf Harris.
Yeah, because he's rotting in jail. But when it comes to Michael Jackson, we heard on Golden Oldies yesterday, after the airing of the documentary, a couple of bads, couple of beat-its.
Yeah.
Now, this is what I'm worried for the future.
Mm-hmm.
As it all comes out, like we can't listen to any Bill Cosby albums anymore.
Yeah.
We can't listen to Michael Jackson.
No.
Rolf Harris is off the table.
Oh, yeah.
So who's bloody next?
Yeah, who is bloody next?
And if you say to me Prince, I'm going to be disappointed.
Okay.
I don't want to. I can't handle that. I can't handle it.
What if I said to you, Prince?
I would be disappointed.
He looks like he can handle it.
Well, even David Bowie, if that came out, I'd be devastated.
That's true, though. He was sleeping with a 14-year-old.
Bowie.
Yeah.
Right. There you
That's documented.
Great.
Yep.
You've broken Jeremy.
Yeah.
I'll
I'll tell you who doesn't.
sleep with 14-year-olds.
Sinead O'Connor.
Okay.
She, if you look this up on the internet, somewhere along there, because Prince wrote her a few songs, Nothing Compares to You, and
Yep.
I don't know, that was probably it. But if you look up on the internet, she came out like 2 years ago, or maybe a year ago, saying that Prince was a little bit darker than what you think he might have been.
Yeah.
And that he was into black magic.
Right.
And she saw physical items being hurled across the room without a person doing
With
it.
mind bullets.
Mind bullets. Wow. And, so what are they protecting? Who are they protecting?
So
He was
he's-
into symbolism.
Yes, he was.
He was the
that
symbol?
smacks of the occult. I was
It
gonna
does.
say.
Yeah, so what do you do? I mean, we're going to end up going to gigs, and it's just going to be, I don't know.
Sign a waiver here. Do you...
What's triggering for you?
Hmm.
Because I could imagine you'll be playing a Michael Jackson song in the future at a wedding.
If
just to
someone
sort
will
of
come
try
up
it
to
out.
me and go,
do you know what he did?
yeah, well, I played KRS, and somebody came up and went, what are you playing this for? I went, because it's KRS. And they went, well, haven't you heard about all the stuff with Africa Bombada? and
Really?
KRS backs Africa Bambaataa.
So what did Africa Bambaataa do?
Oh, he's working in youth stuff for hundreds of years, and somebody's hashtagged him, basically. So, but it's all about this media takedown.
This is craziness.
It is.
This is craziness. I mean, let's face it. On the table, pedophilia is probably the offence. It is the offence that is worthy of capital punishment. It's worthy of all sorts of discreditation. The lowest of slander. But we shouldn't be. I don't know. Like, we should reprimand people for doing it now. What's this whole thing with pulling people up about in the past? I mean, people should be held accountable, no doubt. But I just think it's a strange thing that it's a really on-topic thing now, where people are just this happened 20 years ago. We're going to take him down. This happened then. We're taking it down. And I mean, I don't know where I stand on this. Obviously, people should be held accountable for
Definitely.
these things, whether it's in the past or now. But I don't know. I think it's especially when we find out.
Louis C.K. 7 years ago jerked off on the phone. That's to people. That's one thing.
Or that even just
but having,
touching on the bum. He touched me on the bum 20 years ago or whatever.
It's a bit rough.
Man.
What about
ladies slap me on the ass at the pub like it's nothing.
Do they?
You know what I mean? Yeah.
I got sexually harassed at a job site.
Especially the old ones.
Okay, so how much longer until our famous footy stars come forward and go, he great gamed me? Hashtag great game.
Yeah, no, sexual abuse should be punished. I'm not defending it in any way whatsoever. I just think it should be,
and possibly studied. I mean, these people need to be studied. We need to find out what happened to Michael Jackson.
Take his brain out.
I would love to know. Wouldn't you just like to know the truth behind
he
that?
was world famous at the age of 5, and his dad was a psycho, or is a psycho. Allegedly,
he's dead.
Is he?
Yeah.
So imagine that little boy, grade prep boy, being more famous than anyone in the world, and then someone got to him. You know what I mean? So I mean, when at what stage do you say he was the victim and now he's the predator? I don't know. First time he fucking rapes a kid? I don't know.
Yes.
Or maybe the second.
That definitely crossed that line at that stage.
Anyway,
but there's no excuses. No excuses.
No.
But this subject...
we definitely stand for, on the escape pods, no pedophilia.
Okay. Hashtag no pedophilia.
That's good we wrapped that up because the subject was getting old. Do you know what else is getting old?
Yes.
The internet.
Ah, really?
30th birthday today.
Is it really?
Yeah, 30th.
Okay, 30 years of lies.
Great transition, by the way.
Yeah.
I like that.
Do you know who invented the internet?
Was it Gary Internet?
You were close. No, it was
MIT dudes?
Robert E. Kahn and Vint Cerf, and that was in the 1950s.
Wait a minute. Say the second guy's name.
Vint Cerf. CERF.
Surf the internet. Surf the web. Did nobody else
The
pick up on that?
Wild Web.
Including
No.
Jeff Surf, or
No.
whatever his name was, because I've already forgotten.
But 30 years old, and it's going strong.
What, the internet?
Yeah.
Is it?
What was out 30 years ago? What else came out?
Back to the Future.
Was it?
No, good.
Oh, come on, man.
How long ago was that?
30 years?
30 years. All right.
What year is it? Who's the
1981.
Okay.
Okay.
1991.
91.
Yeah.
Well, we had the Cypress Hill.
I do remember in those days sitting in front of the computer going, yeah, and what do I search? How do you internet?
You asked
Yeah.
Jeeves.
How do you surf?
Ask Jeeves.
CERF.
So where were these dudes working for? What were they? Hold on a second. That doesn't sound right.
Yeah, check your brain.
I don't know exactly what they were working for. They actually didn't create the internet. They created an ITP that was essentially the backbone of the internet. So
it was a
All
way
right,
for
settle
them
down, Brainiac. Slow that down. It's too much data points and
especially for this
gigawatts. Yeah.
But that's
30 years old.
30
I mean,
years.
that's
It's
bizarre.
taken off from, it's but a pup. 30 years old. Wait till it gets, its shit together in its mid-30s. Or
I
it's,
thought you were saying it's getting old. Like it's done, boys. We've wrapped
We're
it
getting
up.
over it. Yeah.
There must be another iteration of the internet coming that we are unaware of.
oh, absolutely. Think about Microsoft's new product, HoloLens. Seen this.
No.
Pure augmented reality. It's going to make tablets and phablets and anything with a screen base look like
What's a
Stone tools.
phablet?
it's
That's a fancy
a cross
tablet.
between a phone and a tablet, like the Samsung Note 8, like I present here.
Or it's a word he just made up.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, I know I've heard that before. I didn't create that.
No.
But
So you're saying we need to support this kind of thing. We need an internet too.
Electric.
I was going to say electric dreams. You know,
well, it's going to be like that.
Yeah, we'll be like that.
Think about this. Think about, not the examples I've seen are quite good. You can walk through a supermarket and the products that you have in a recipe pre-programmed will show up and the prices will show up through and you can compare them and whatnot. Or if
Okay.
you're trying to fix a car, you can download what's wrong with your car and the problem that there is, and it'll show you, what you're looking at, the different
view it.
parts of the
So
car.
an
You've got to change that.
An augmented reality.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wearables. So once we start entering that area, it's you'll walk down an aisle and there won't be any prices displayed apart from on your holo view.
Yeah,
right?
personalised prices.
So personalised prices depending on your class and earnings.
They already do that in China.
Do they already do that?
They have digital price tags which interact with a card that you have on you, and you pay more or less depending on your social status.
Oh, holy shit! It's
Yeah, it's that-
fucked over there.
So it's not looking good.
And also in regards to their social credit score, apparently last year millions of people were stopped from travel. So they could reduce people's rights of movement due to a low social credit score.
And why can't you travel if you're not earning, if you haven't got enough points? Well, why aren't you allowed to travel? Like, what's behind that? Like, oh, sorry, you're not a doctor, you can't travel.
Yeah, I
What's
guess
the reasoning behind?
restrictions of freedom. Basic restriction of freedom as an incentive to not be a dissident.
Okay.
to the government.
I think the dude, because we have a very it's a weird relationship on the escape pods with China, because on one hand we love China,
Love China.
love the people, love the food,
Yeah.
but the government, we're not so keen on the whole social score thing and the whole chips in the wrists
And of
and
course, we're sympathetic because Dan Odds is married to a Chinese lass.
I mean, I love the Chinese in all forms. And I love Chinese culture, Chinese food, and Chinese medicine.
but this new guy, right, just on the travel bans and stuff.
But
like,
it's
he's-
scary. It's not
scary.
It's not our fault that they're providing us with some fodder. Interesting things to talk about.
Like this phone you just said.
Yeah.
A fobber?
Fodder. If it's
guy-
interesting and we read it, we're going to talk about it.
What's the ruler's name? Do you want to know? Anyway, it doesn't matter. He's into death because he just. But he's putting Muslims away in concentration camps.
I said they were boarding schools.
Right.
Read today.
Re-education.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Exactly.
that's worrying. And you just make it so hard for people that aren't towing the line, that aren't spending, that aren't being controlled. You just make it impossible for them, and eventually you'll die out.
Yeah. That's the idea,
Yeah.
I guess.
Get that money.
And, I mean, in many ways it works for them.
Yeah,
I don't think it does. I reckon they fucking hate it.
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
Probably sucks.
Yeah.
Unless you've got a really high score, a social score. What if you're
And
in
it's
the...
wicked.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're complaining about.
Well, it's all your social score is also
Because you can move to another country.
well, you can't leave.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. They look at your Facebook and rate you. So if you're friends with somebody that has a low score, it brings your score down.
Oh, guilty by association.
Well, that's it. So it's like hopefully it'll spring a bit of a culling of the old Facebook.
Well,
Friends.
I'm off. Like, if anyone's been trying to contact me via Facebook, it's a once a week, just a quick look on the iPad just to see if I've been invited to anything, and I'm off it. I'm not doing Instagram.
Yep.
I'm not looking at my phone. And now that my eyes are open and I'm looking at everyone on the streets, I mean, we're zombies.
Zombies.
No one's looking up.
No one's
I
looking
see
up.
people driving, boys.
Looking down.
They're looking down.
Do you know where else other people look? I've noticed because I've been a passenger a bit lately. Other people look inside your car. Have you noticed that? People are always looking at other people. You'll be driving, eye contact. Eye
Yeah.
contact.
Yeah, I do.
Every
I
car.
drive fast.
Every car.
A lot
So
of
is
people
that
I'm
the-
greasing off, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I,
the fucking bed.
I did do that.
Yeah, I know. I know. I've lived it. I've seen it. I've heard it.
Cass thinks I'm a road rager.
Cass thinks I'm insane.
But
Why
this is
would she
untrue.
think that?
Because I'm not...
right, Michael
I'm
Douglas,
trying-
settle that vein in your neck
I'm
down.
trying
that's right.
to teach people a lesson.
Oh,
You know what's going to happen? Do you know what's going
called
to
narcissism.
happen when you're texting and you hit someone? You're going to jail for culpable driving, Tim.
Okay, that's them.
Short enough.
Yep.
Yeah, but
I'm driving, and you're gonna kill me.
I'm a
Is he
big
gonna
guy.
give me a fucking phone, man?
Yeah.
Give me a fucking
But
phone.
then I'm gonna chase you
I
down.
saw a kid riding his fucking bike, just fucking on his phone, man.
You're not allowed to do that?
I'd say probably not.
He's probably a Deliveroo. He's probably making a
guy-
living.
A deliverer.
Oh, as a brand. Sorry, I should have sort of unbranded that.
I mean, I know
Well, I
there's
was saying
other shit going on in the world,
It's amazing how red his face went.
just fucking gosh, insane.
I can't imagine.
I've got no other outlet. We started this podcast for that reason.
Okay, you could always just hit your wife.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, there's heaps of illegal ways you can vent anger in today's society.
Well,
Yes.
I said this last night to Cass. You know,
Get on your fucking phone.
I started the conversation. She was looking at her phone. I said, "Look, dude, yeah, we can't have this. I can't compete with this phone." But I said, like, I'm pretty rage.
That's couch rage.
I was raging because I'm owed a little bit of money. Won't get into it.
Yeah, sure.
But I'm owed some money, and yeah, it's coming.
On edge.
Don't worry. I'm a bit on edge, and it's a bit testy. And
God bless you.
I said, I think we need to get a punching bag here. Just like and Cass said, yeah, do it. My dad always had one.
Do it. I dare you. I dare you.
My dad always had a punching bag.
I've got one.
in the shed.
You can have.
Well, I don't want it because I think it's
I've got two. I've got one that hangs from the thing, and I've got one that's on its own
one of the
stand.
balls.
It's on its own stand with a speedball and a floor to ceiling all in the same unit.
Yeah, I might get that speedball off. Fuck, that'd be good. But
3 in 1.
it's not good for the shoulders. But I thought muscle memory. If you get angry, you get fired up, you go straight to the punching bag and you punch it. Like, you know, and it's a muscle memory. And you
Yeah.
don't want to be doing that over weeks and years because the first time you don't have a punching bag in front of you,
You're going to punch the
you're
first.
punching walls and people
Well, I was
through
thinking
windows.
you'd punch a head because that looks the most like a bag at the same height.
Like in Popeye, you know, those movies. And
sure.
Fuck. Sure enough.
Sure, you sound like a monster. Speaking of monsters, were we?
Michael Jackson, yeah.
You?
That's been a monster-themed episode.
Well,
bit
it kinda
heavier,
has.
a bit heavier this week, but we'll pull ourselves out of it, boys.
Well,
Yep.
we mentioned on the
Better that we pull ourselves out of it than someone fucking weird, creepy. Go.
sure in the Mysteries episode of Steve's, which I think I just posted up today. You gave the top 50 monsters, mythical monsters.
Okay.
And on that list was the Loch Ness monster, and we both came to the agreement on that episode that it was realsies or fakesies. #fakesies.
Oh, it's all coming back to me, Tim.
Yep.
It is, yeah. Okay, so that just gives you a little bit of an insight.
I don't remember recording that.
Pretend to remember.
Okay.
It seems that in the last 5 months, there's been 2 fresh viewings,
Sightings even.
Yeah,
Oh, of old Lockie.
of old Lockie,
Nessie.
Old Nessie.
old Nessie.
See what I did there?
You reversed it. You flipped it up. I like that. You made it your own.
I fixed something up.
Nessie fever has taken hold of the legendary Loch Ness monster. Was reported sighted twice in 5 days. Actually, not 5 weeks, 5 days. A woman from Manchester claims she spotted and snapped the beast on February 23rd. Then Irish tourists said he caught an image of the monster on the lock's official webcam.
Now, is this it's the news?
Well,
is this-
it's just
I think it might be.
It might be.
It must be.
Northeast, west, south.
It's
the
the
news.
news. So you're on
And
board.
specifically, monsters.
Okay.
That looks like a duck just sitting on the water to me, but they're saying it's the head of the thing popping out of the thing over there in Loch Ness.
Do you want to just, if I get a closer look, Tim?
It's just the audience can picture a lake with a little black dot on it, and they're saying that's it. Now they've got a webcam set up, so the technology is kind of a bit more advanced over there, and they've got a webcam which overlooks the entire lake, and on that webcam from quite a high thing, there's a quite a you get squint, Jeremy. I know you need glasses. There's the same shot of a lake,
grey sort of
mass, and they're saying it could be a shadow, but there's a guy that lives on the lake, and he's made it his.
That's Lockie.
Yeah, that's Lucky on the lake. And
Typical conspiracy Bigfoot photos.
How dare you?
it's
Bloody blurry.
Well, everything's blurry, and this is exactly the point that I wanted to make. That we've reached this technological age where the cameras we have in our phones right now are better than
They're
anything
crazy.
that ever existed.
Mm-hmm.
Like to be, disposable or accessible to the general public.
And disposable.
And we've all got them, right? Why can we not get a clear photo of a drone like you took the other day?
All right.
Or
So
a-
this is where it is. Like, saw a drone. It was a UFO shaped drone. I sent it to you boys. Very disappointing.
It's deliberately deceptive.
Yes, and I don't. Apart from the, because they're very loud, so you could tell. Like I wasn't freaked out. Oh, it's a UFO. It's just very loud.
Yeah, it's got that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel as though some things that happen on the lock
Should
might
stay on the
be-
lock?
What happens on the lock stays on the lock. But it might be a little bit of maybe some prankster with a little bit of a drone boat.
Possibly.
Drone boat.
The other thing about
Just invented,
about old Nessie is she can be foggy.
Yep.
And your standard camera fogs up at night, fogs up in the morning.
That's true.
So
That's when the Loch Ness likes to show a face. But speaking of pranksters, and it's the news,
We sure were.
and monsters.
and monsters, and this all combines in this next story. A story I read in the Daily Star. That pop-up ad that came up on my phablet was unnecessarily sexualized. All right.
It is so big.
In
Thank you.
Charlotte, NC, an office worker has been charged after he brought donuts glazed with his own semen to his boss's farewell party.
Zing! He's a monster.
Yes.
Apparently, a
blind
few of
monster.
his colleagues had complained about a saltiness of the flavour, but they
Were
all
they-
realised it was him when the boss commented how they tasted after his bite. He just lost his shit,
Was he-
pissed
was he-
himself laughing.
Was he charged with assault? So that's
Humorous your daddy.
yes. No, that's a good. That's a. Well, I guess it's up there with the prank, but it's more of a gank.
That's a
Yeah,
gank. He
that's a
faces a
gank.
lengthy jail
No,
sentence.
that's assault.
Does he really?
Yeah, that's assault.
Yep. Yep.
Now, what's the premise of the jail sentence? Like, wouldn't you get
Because
like,
we've got to stamp this kind of behaviour out.
sure.
Lighting a bag of poo on someone's doorstep and then ring the doorbell is one thing.
Okay, what if they don't answer the door and the house burns down?
Okay, that's
Jail.
arson and murder.
Never
but
really thought of that. Might stop doing that.
But if that poo was to get into a dude's mouth, yeah, we're talking about a different court case.
Yeah.
Well, that's right. And all the employees were sent to get STD checks. Because
Of course.
have we heard horror stories about restaurants with angry chefs?
Too much MSG.
Where they've done the same thing into people that complain about their meals, and they say they do it in the cream sauce.
Angry but horny chefs.
I'm so angry!
Let's go.
Special sauce for you.
One in the clip ready to go.
No doubt if you're a chef, you're drunk too.
Oh,
so,
sure,
like,
yeah, of course you are.
And
Orange drugs.
the people at the
Orange
restaurant
drugs. True,
ended
true,
up
true,
with
true.
STDs. because they ate the food apparently.
And now, does he have an STD?
No, I don't, that hasn't
so
that hasn't came up.
okay,
But
so
apparently
really
his boss had
that didn't-
tormented him over a period of 12 years.
Do you know what? The boss can eat my cum.
Well, that's right.
But on this sweet, delicious donut. And you know what? If his secretary gets a nibble, half the bonus. I don't have an STD, so it brings it back down to prank
I
territory.
think you might be onto something here, Tim. If I'm going to have a wad of jizz, I might just edit that one. If I'm going to take a load of semen in the mouth, no, wait a minute. If I'm a cum duster, no. If I like to swallow what, no.
If that's your
Can you just clean that up a little bit?
if that's your
No, don't.
if that's your taste preference,
I would prefer it to be covered over a glazed donut. Glazed donut.
yeah, okay. You don't want it. You don't want it served. You don't want it served hot.
Oh, there are people that we've talked about the pea cocktails.
Yeah.
You make if you're drinking your own urine, you make a cocktail. You put the urine in it. If I'm going to have some jizz,
They say
that's
revenge-
not mine.
They do say revenge is best served cold, so the donuts wouldn't have been that hot.
No. And in America, they have those pineapple glazed donuts, and they say that if you drink pineapple juice, it actually makes your semen taste better. So
That's what they say.
we're onto a theme here.
Yeah, we are.
And you've covered a couple of my jams here, because tonight I've come in here with really cum and urine on the tip of my tongue.
Just like Michael Jackson.
And I'm glad you didn't say I've come in here with some donuts. Would you like it? Would anybody
would've
like
been
a
great.
hot jammy?
Here, boys, have a donut to start off the pod. Yeah, great. By the way,
That's a good segue.
it's the news.
No, well, but talking about cum, and you were talking about
yeah.
if your right to eat it and drink it. Well, they're changing. A Georgia lawmaker wants to file a bill, or has filed a bill, to force older men to report to law enforcement agencies when they release sperm.
Wait,
The proposed
say that again.
The bill proposed that people over 55 have to report to law enforcement
Yes.
agencies
Yes.
when they drop a load.
why is that? Is this China?
No, it's in America. It's
Fake
been.
news?
It's actually. I mean, it's not that serious. It was filed to make a point.
Okay.
Because they're in Georgia. They've wanted to get girls, young women, rights to have abortion pills.
Sure.
Abortion pills and abortions, and they've rejected that right. So female lawmakers are trying to pass bills showing what it's like for,
yes.
laws for men to have
Sure.
laws that control or dictate what a man can or can't do with their own body.
Sure.
Oh, I thought you were going to say because any body over 50 years old jizzing is disgusting.
You won't be saying that when you're over 50,
That's
Tim.
like 8 years away, dude. How old are you?
Gross.
7. 7 years away.
7? I'm 7?
You're old.
Okay.
That's what I'm getting at.
But you're also talking about urine, and that's what I also wanted to talk about tonight.
Excellent, because it wouldn't be an episode without a little bit of shit, piss, and jizz.
That's why we invite you, Jeremy.
Yeah, but, urine's got a bad a bad name.
What? Urine?
Urine.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Oh, with the taste that can't be beat.
You find it's used as a torture tactic, and it's got a bit of a stigma. People,
And a stink mark.
The stigma
Yeah.
does.
but I've been thinking, urine has its uses.
Yes.
does.
It's good for the leather production, tanning leather.
That's one of them.
Red leather.
Have you
yellow.
listened to the piss episode? It can be used for...
Oh, so we've already done this?
No,
Yeah.
please. You can continue on
Let's see if you
because
can add to the list.
we just pissed over it.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't really go right into it. So
Yeah.
any opportunity to bring it up again.
That's right.
Just like that donut.
I've just been, yeah.
Yeah, go on.
So do you piss on a lemon tree or don't you piss on a lemon
You
tree?
do. Definitely.
do.
It's got urea in it, which is a micro or macro element that you need for in the soil.
They love it. The uric acid.
Not too much.
Do you really need it?
Like I said, you don't want to have the only trough at a pub is a lemon tree, and then you're eating all those lemons. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Yeah. No, but it's still good. It's good for you. It'll make great lemons if you piss on it, especially if your leaves are getting yellow, yellow dots. Give it a wee every now and then.
Okay.
Piss on your feet in the shower.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Apparently, it's good. It's not wholly sterile, but it contains a small bit of bacteria, but it's good bacteria. So it fights the good fight. A little bit of urine. I've even read that, and I'm not too sure how this works environmentally for urine going into the waterways, but it's good for the environment because, well, toilets are bad for the environment. There's so much water, and so what's the paper?
I don't want 20 million people shitting in the Yarra, though.
Well, I will bring something up now that you mentioned that, just as a little sidebar, that I have one of those water saving toilets.
Oh, really?
But it's got a high rating of water saving, right? So one full flush equals a regular half flush.
Invented by an Australian, the half flush, by the way.
Okay, I'd love to know who that
Well done.
was.
Can I get a ding on that?
Absolutely.
But what tends to happen is if it's yellow, then it's mellow. But
If it's brown, it doesn't go down.
It takes 2 flushes, which
Yeah.
equals a full flush.
Well,
Yep.
that's a sign of your diet. You got good fibre.
Okay.
If it's light brown and floating,
What?
wait a minute. What's the expression?
Please don't fucking tell us the expression. We can't afford to put it on a sticker or a T-shirt, so don't tell me.
If you've got any stickers or T-shirts that you would like us to make,
Easy. There it is.
There it is.
Well, if you said you would piss in the shower, you're not alone. Around 80% of people admit to pissing in the
I'll
shower.
put my hand up. I do it.
Are you a shower urinator?
Yeah, I do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Put my
Now
hand
you
up.
know. I mean,
Why not?
in the last episode, Steez, you found out that I lost my virginity that you said you were going to edit out.
I did say I was going to edit that out.
Now it's out there for the whole...
And then he heard it and went, "Oh, you didn't edit out the only bit I asked you to edit out." I went, "Well, I can pull it. I can pull it down. Pull the episode down, that is."
Jesus
Let me rephrase that. It's interesting that you say that we're on the hot topic of things that come out of your body that re-enter your body via the mouth. It's interesting that you should bring that up because it turns out that eating your bogies is not only disgusting, it can also be really dangerous.
Really?
Did you know?
Yeah, I didn't know, but you can... Process of elimination... The things that generally come out of the body are waste products and shouldn't be re-ingested like your morning yogic piss.
Yeah.
Right? If I'm pissing into my own mouth, it's not the first piss of the day.
It's not the first time. That's true.
Wait till I've got up, had 12 coffees.
What's the most effective way to get piss in your mouth, Jeremy?
Well,
Into
what
a
you do-
glass, then drink it, or just straight from the source? Create a loop. So as a child, you probably had your hands swatted away by your parent as you tried to have a good dig. All right? It's not uncommon to see children have a good nasal root around. But by the time we reach adulthood, the understanding is that we've grown out of it, or that we've become better at doing it in private. It's disgusting.
Except for people in cars.
But
that do
aside
it.
from the fact that it's
Anyway.
been gross and uncouth, is having a bit of a bite on a booger such a bad thing? Firstly, there's a myth that eating your boogies strengthens your immune system. I've never heard that.
I've heard that
Never
off Dr. Carl.
Yeah.
He said that about, when you cough up phlegm as well,
Yeah.
that it might...
But like you say, it's
Strengthen
coming,
your
it's
immune
coming
system.
out.
Get it out.
Yeah.
I've got a question about that. What about the practice of when you have a child, which I don't? You often hear about people sucking the snot.
Oh,
Because
that's
kids
the most
kids
fucking
can't
disgusting
kids can't
thing.
blow their nose or whatever, and so you got getting parents like sucking on their nose.
No, what they do is they put this fucking nasal snot extractor with a little tube and a catchment, right? Then a tube of a hose or whatever. Yes.
Yes.
and then you go And like similar to
Siphoning a petrol
siphoning
tank.
a petrol tank.
Yep.
Do you know what
Yeah,
I mean?
but you know that device only happened in the last 10 to 15 years.
It's
Before then,
fucking disgusting.
That was mouth to nose
mouth
contact.
to nose.
Well, you could.
As a mother, I don't feel that it's that bad.
When did you
Anyone?
get your vagina, Jeremy?
I'll tell you one thing. I've got sand in it.
Right, because they say that
That's why they call me Sandy.
Oh, right.
this is my favorite biological name, and it shows that it's evident on nasal hairs in humans. It's called streptococcus,
Okay.
which is on topic.
Yeah.
And the donuts. And they're saying that is it's quite dangerous to eat. It's a germ which can live in the front of the nose, and combined with picking can cause abrasions.
So
These
you're-
abrasions bleed, promoting germs.
So they're saying that
Increasing
you're
the
breathing in all the germs and stuff from the outside world, and the nose has a natural defense to block it before it gets into your body.
And the other thing is, if you're picking, you're scratching the lining, right? And that causes microscopic tears, which attracts this
Streptococci.
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 Have you ever strapped the cockeye?
No, I
try
don't go to
sometime.
those clubs.
You should try it sometime. Basically, what they're saying is,
You ever been
Maybe
pegged?
one day.
what they're
Did you ever
trying
get
to
pegged?
what
Not
they're
right
trying-
now.
What they're trying to say is, can you stop creating edits for me, please?
Nah.
Don't eat your bogies.
Fair enough.
Don't eat the donuts. Don't drink
Your own
Don't drink the
beers.
lemonade.
The old earwax, that's another one.
Nobody
that's
eats
pretty
that,
revolting,
surely.
isn't it?
If I've said it, someone's done it.
Absolutely. If it will be someone's fetish, let alone someone has done it. Someone would love it, like particularly like it.
You know, like McAfee. You know,
I thought you were going to say, like, Denos.
No, I would never say that about Janos. You know, McAfee
The
security?
virus guy, the antivirus guy.
Antivirus guy.
Yeah.
You can look this one up if you want. He's running for president, trying to run for president.
Yep.
He
Straps the cockeye.
he likes to have.
Peg sessions.
Wait, I'm just trying to phrase this properly. He likes to cut holes in hammocks and then have Islander women shit in his mouth.
Okay.
So how does this work? Is he
This is dead set. Look it up. I'm
The
telling you,
hammocks-
it's fucking real.
the hammocks? The
Hammock's got a
the
hole in it.
ladies
The
sit in
ladies sit on
in
the
hammock.
And she's being interviewed, and she's saying, "Yeah, the first time I'd never done anything like that. It's a bit weird, but he likes getting shit in his mouth."
Okay, so can we give
this
that a
is,
name?
Coprophilia?
Oh, no, I thought you were going to say something related to hammocks. Come on, man.
Cockinampici.
Boo.
Let me think of that.
Yeah.
It's a.
No.
If I would say that the hammock with a hole in it, a hammock with a hole in it is called a scammock
Yes.
because that's purpose built for scat games.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
I think we'll just call it scammocking.
I like it.
Now, but I was getting to the point where
Wait, I don't like it. I like your name for it.
obviously he has a fetish for it, like you're saying. He has a fetish for it, but he obviously doesn't have the natural response or natural human response to gag.
He's
to-
sick in the fucking head.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he doesn't obviously genetically or whatever, because, you know, ask Dan. Dan can't listen to this episode. He'll
No,
be
he won't. He's
sympathetically
gonna be-
spewing right
yeah.
now.
Yeah.
So that's what the body does to stop you from eating shit.
Eating shit. It's
Right?
funny you talk. I was talking about this on the car ride on the way over.
Okay, because you just had Red Rooster.
I absolutely
Some
was
dirty
talking,
bird.
talking
Right?
about this.
So
No, I was talking
he's
about it.
He's just got a little click in his brain. Maybe he's a mutant, you know. Maybe that's his superpower.
Yep.
I could eat shit all day and just get it down, and it doesn't matter. And I get
Okay.
if it's brown, get it down. So people that have like really get into eating their boogies or God damn, I can't even believe I'm going to say this. like, spewing into each other. Like, people are into that.
Fucking,
Two girls, one cup sort of stuff. I've heard about it, never seen it.
what were you talking
But I
about
wasn't-
in the car?
I was talking about it. We're talking about this natural gag reflex that we have, or anxiety we have around poo, that is there so we don't play and eat with poo.
Yes.
That's so we're detested by it, and we don't do it anywhere near us. We
Yes.
stay away from it because it's not just taboo; it's a poo.
And I'll tell you what,
But
smells like shit.
But what got me thinking about this is what led me down this talking about it, is that I was thinking about a bit that I was going to bring into the program, which was just based my observation of how uncomfortable I feel in the hygiene section at the supermarket.
I'll tell you who's uncomfortable. Timmy
Does anybody else
Tacos.
feel hygiene section anxiety? Because it's a chick zone.
Yeah, it is.
Even
It
though
is.
there's plenty of male products in there, really it's like, even though there's heaps of stuff I use in there, soap, shampoo, toothpaste, deodorant, toothbrushes, plenty of products that I'm identified with. When I go in there, it's like it's makeup and condoms. I'm not there for the makeup. I must be there for the condoms.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So it's like, and then if you're there for that reason, you got to get a couple of other items to disguise what you're there for.
Yeah.
Like,
No one's ever
shaving
really
cream
in there to
and,
get shampoo.
Something manly.
I had to buy condoms once from a
Outrageous.
from a late night
Oh, those poor girls.
petrol station.
Right.
And like when they've closed down for the night, you just have to go to the window and you can't.
I think.
And so you're like, you can't even like go buy the pack of chips and the bubble gums and some condoms and a bottle of Solo. So you got to knock on the window and go,
Yeah. And ask directly.
and then
Yeah.
and then he asks you, what size?
Just
How
this-
many do you plan
Oh,
on
the
using?
big big ones.
Just
I
a
thought
big-
you were going to say
just
obviously the
one
smallest you've got.
Big one, thanks.
One big one.
I get
Oh,
the job done
these.
right.
I've got these Coles bags for you if you want. Perfect, mate. Yeah.
Yep. They'll
Chuck in
do.
a couple of crunchy wrappers.
That's
I mean,
right.
Tim, you're going to have a hell of a job on your
Okay,
hands
so can we get a fresh in so that I have an option to?
to edit this episode.
Well, I'll tell you what else has been happening in regards to our podcast being a public service
Oh, yes.
and things that we talk about of good or bad natures, or hopefully positive natures that might occur
Who
within.
knows, man? Who knows?
They occur within the cosmos. Well, we're talking a couple episodes about maybe adopting, going not vegetarian, but just meatless days.
Yeah,
Yep.
less meat. I think you
Sure.
were on that tip for your New Year's resolution. I think you wanted to cut down your meat intake.
Yeah, well, there's been a bit of that. I've actually got a heap of great vegetarian recipes on the go.
Yep. What did you have on the way over here for little snackies?
Vegetarian chicken
Red
and cheese
Rooster.
roll. Like I said, there's
There's yin and yang.
He's talking about red. He's talking about red meat, not white meat.
no. Well, that's true too, but I'm not. A vegetarian day should be a vegetarian day. But what has popped up is in New York, the mayor has forced schools to adopt a meatless Monday approach.
Oh,
Okay,
like
meatless
it, yeah.
Monday.
Fine.
Meatless Monday.
It's good.
So
Meatless Monday.
meatless Monday, and you've got your your dry Fridays.
Fuck it all Fridays.
Oh, yeah.
What's there seems to be they really want to tag something to every day.
Yep.
Yes. A holiday month, everything needs to have a tag on it. So you're saying
Shrove
no,
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Shrove, okay, so that's done. Monday's done. Shrove Tuesday, Wacky Wednesday.
Like
Palmer
Hump
night's
Day,
generally on a
Hump Day.
Wednesday.
I thought Palmer was a Thursday night.
That's-
you'd know
that's-
more because you go to the
that's
pub
uni-
way
You're a
more
pub
than I-
man.
That's uni pub night. Is it still uni pub night on Thursdays?
I don't know.
So we're saying Palmer's Wednesday, Wacky Wednesday, Palmer Day.
That'll do.
Thursdays.
It's uni night at the pub.
Thursdays.
Thursdays.
Thursday.
So that's
Thursday,
where you're allowed to.
Thursday.
Yeah, finally, for the
I
start
thought
of
it
the
was-
week,
I actually thought it was tight ass Tuesdays at the movies.
look, we can mix and match. It doesn't
Okay,
matter.
sure.
It's not. We're workshopping this, Tim, and
Okay,
it's definitely not going to be
there was
canon.
when we were at school. It was Friday tie day. Used
Yes,
to,
yeah.
used- yeah,
Wear a
'cause we used to-
tie.
We wore a tie at school. We never wore a tie at school.
Nah.
No.
I went to Frankston High, mate.
Catholic.
Well, Frankston High. The only ties we had were tie sticks. I don't know. I don't
Tie dye.
tie dye. No, we used to
tie sticks. Yeah, that'll work.
Friday tie day. We used to have V-neck jumpers,
Yes.
and the tie was tucked into that, and you'd either go flip and flip it out, Friday tie-day, or you'd get some scissors and cut their fucking tie off. That's harsh.
It is harsh. I'll tell you what's harsh. Harsh is learning the reality that you think now exists is not the reality that you think it is at all.
Matrix style.
Well,
Are you talking about my marriage?
well, any fundamental realities that we rely on as a stable thing, if the reality of those things is changed, it can be quite shocking.
Are you talking about how my internet banking went out today?
Did it really?
And the whole world shut down. I couldn't do anything, and I had to go into the bank and ask for money. And it was shocking. My realities crashed down.
That is
and
shocking.
I was crushed.
His world.
Well, basically, not really at all. Talking about a recent quantum experiment, it suggests that there's no such thing as objective reality whatsoever.
Because once you observe something, you've already changed its reality.
Well, pretty
Schrodinger's
much.
box.
Well, it doesn't. Well, it exists in a presupposition, in a state of everything until it's observed by something. I think that's quite interesting. That objective reality that we think is always there, whether regardless we, look at it, know about it, observe it, that is always there.
The tree.
These
the tree
truths.
falling in the
Falling
woods.
thing,
Does
yeah.
it make a sound?
Well, apparently it doesn't. There is no true reality that isn't been observed without it being observed. It's
And it's like when you make a documentary, and that's what they say as well, like you cannot make a real documentary because as soon as there's a camera, it skewers the data. Therefore, Michael Jackson.
that's what I was
He's
going to say.
innocent.
Well, it's hard to make a non-biased documentary
It
because
is.
it's always been made with the expectations or the predisposition of the people making it.
Yep.
Yeah. But if you're a good a good documentary maker or a good scientist, you shouldn't have preconceived outcomes. You should just let the experiment go forward.
But even when you're offering-
let the conclusion come to you rather than searching for predetermined conclusions.
But even when you're offering both options of the argument, you're still offering a biased
Yeah, for sure.
argument when you're presenting that argument.
Because where do
Yeah.
you come from? Where do you live?
Is the cat dead in the box?
Is it alive?
Does the tree make sound?
And they're basic on and off questions. They're basic binary questions that they're asking in these things in a quantum state. They're getting a photon, and basically asking it, observing whether it's horizontal or vertical. And it's hard to have a presupposition. It's hard to have a concept, or not have an idea of up or down, or left or right before when you go into an experiment. How can you just make your mind completely absent of an expectation of a two option outcome?
Well, I've always wondered they show you the star map or the map of the Milky Way.
Yeah.
Are we on a disc? Because
It's a spinning disc.
Spiral. It's a disc-like galaxy.
So there's nothing above us,
There's other
nothing
shape.
below us. So if we're looking up, we're looking through the disc. See what I'm saying? We don't know
Looking
where
through
it
the disk. If you see that string of stars, or what we conceive as the Milky Way, and it gets denser and denser if you're out in the country, you can see that dust, and that's just more stars. You are essentially looking through the disk.
You're looking through it.
And it's our position in that spiral galaxy that we are in. I think we're in like the furthest arm. There's a couple of arms going on with the spiral, and we are
Sector 7G.
yeah, Sector 7G. That's right.
But basically, what we are learning, the further that science evolves and brings us closer to knowing the true elements of being, things that are beyond our comprehension, especially ours.
The limits of our perception.
The limits of our perception, in this podcast especially.
I'll say.
But they bring us closer and closer to the teachings of the late Bill Hicks.
All matter is merely energy condensed to a slow vibration, that we are all one consciousness experiencing itself subjectively. There's no such thing as death. Life is only a dream, and we're the imagination of ourselves. Here's Tom with the weather.
You know, that, Alex Jones has been accused of being Bill Hicks.
Oh, really?
How does that work?
I don't know, dude.
Yeah. How did,
It's
how does it
quantum physics. It's
Oh, right.
everything's real, everything's fake, everything's I don't know how you
work?
perceive
He
it.
definitely does put it in the right way.
Old Hicksy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's quite amusing. You
you
would
think-
never hear that on a local news report.
No.
I watched the one of his specials again on Netflix last week, and do you think that dudes like that have such insight and can really get into the meat of a subject can't be around for too long? Like the candle that burns twice as bright is half as long.
Well, you
that
look
kind of
at,
thing. Like
you look at,
he can't if he's around
Hawkins,
it.
for example.
Yeah,
You know, there's like so much that it fries the system.
burns you out.
Well, working against the grain, it's a very difficult world for someone, that's trying to call things out as they are, as they see, and that makes sense when they're fighting against people that don't want to see, things. And I know it's hard. It's easy to discredit people that rant on about conspiracies and things like that because there's so many crazy conspiracies that it's hard to define who's on about a whole bunch of shit and who's not.
Do you think Bill Hicks would have been as popular if he hadn't have tragically died from cancer? If the internet was around in a big bad way, do you think he would have been shut down a lot quicker? Would he have been? Would he have been just? Do yourselves a favour, listeners. I've said this before in like episode 12 or something. Listen to Bill Hicks. I'm telling you, he's one of the best comedians to ever
Yeah,
spit lyrical.
Comedy.
you definitely learn something and have a laugh along the way.
Sure.
Just like this podcast.
Sure. Certainly.
So, Tim, just in summation, is that a word? You've got a lot of work on your hand with this episode. There's a lot of flags, a lot of things we've said. That,
Well, you know what? I'll have to flag this because by the time they get to this stage, it will all be streamlined.
You
So
would
you
never have
created
even known.
Another one for me. But I've got a little bit of the old
Today on the show, we're going to make pfeffernuss.
cockheads. Pfeffernuss. We'll have a new member joining the Stees team fairly soon. We've got Jude Pearl, who does a bit of comedy stylings on a musical tip.
Fantastic.
And she's currently doing...
sounds like a chick.
it is a chick.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I had a chat with her today about providing some sultry sounds to help with the end of our Stees episodes.
We definitely need to get the female perspective
Well,
into this
look,
boys club over here.
She's a hard worker,
Absolutely.
and she's got some funny material, and she'll feature. So this is just a little bit of a if for any reason we don't forward announce her before Stees.
Yeah, okay.
This
Like
is
if
just
it gets
a little,
thrown in an edit. And,
and we forget to forward announce it. She's pretty happy to be
really?
part of it.
Well, and welcome aboard. And as we've said to all the listeners out there, if you have anything you want to contribute, your really must goes, your funny songs, doesn't even have to be funny. If you've got an anecdote,
Can you make it funny? Yeah.
Can you,
Anything, guys?
Got any ideas?
Guys?
Hello, Mum, Dad. Yeah.
But we're not on the Facebook anymore, really. We don't do Twitter stuff. I mean, is there an email address? I mean,
it's always there. I do check it. Thanks for pointing that out, Jez. But
okay.
that's Jeremy putting the spotlight on how much he doesn't do towards the podcast. Yeah,
Well, you
but
can't do
look, that's
everything.
just a little bit of faffiness there.
Excellent. And
Yep.
welcome. Now, her name again, sorry?
Jude Pearl.
Excellent. Welcome aboard.
It's fame in a name.
Sure, it
It's
is,
a good
isn't
name.
it?
It's a strong name, isn't it?
I was told when I was a kid, what's your name, lad? Tim Trappett. And they went, oh, that's the name of a famous person.
And you never looked back.
Oh, it stuck with me, man. I
Yep.
felt good about that. That's a
Absolutely.
really good compliment, even if they have no idea. I'd recommend that you throw that into a couple of kids' lives.
Yeah, I do.
Hear
I
it
do that
along the
Yeah,
way.
I do
Yep.
that one there. I often
That's
say,
the name of greatness.
Yeah, or like,
Yeah.
you're going to
Yep.
be an artist. I remember someone saying to me, you're going to be a writer one day.
How'd that work out?
Diaries, I did.
Oh, you did it.
But it does stick with you.
Yeah,
Let's
it's
be
kind of-
positive.
But
Yeah.
I think
It does stick with you.
I think the subtle influence of a stranger coming in and touching on the minds of young, supple children.
Almost grooming you to be a better person than what you were. Anyway, righto, that's enough. I'm out.
Yeah, fair enough. Look, it's been one of those days.
Yep.
Hasn't it? And thanks for listening, everybody. We're happy to have you here all the time. If you're listening right now and you've listened before, thanks for listening.
If you're still listening at the hour mark, I mean, well done.
It's amazing.
Well done.
Yeah, amazing.
This is good.
Well
It's
done.
one
For the
you.
listeners,
Well done.
you get a sticker, a good work sticker.
Yeah, good work.
Pat on the
Nice
back.
try.
Pat on the back,
Yeah,
a
good
nice
one.
try. I'm Jezbot.
And I'm Sean Enough.
And I'm Timmy Taco every week. Thanks for listening.
Thank you for pressing the self-destruct button. The ship will self-destruct in exactly 2 minutes and 45 seconds.
Who are you? One pod left. And 3 of us.
The escape pod. The escape pod.
What if there are droids in the escape pod? The sensors wouldn't pick them up.
Escape pods is really nice.
Well, boys, it's a very lovely ship. I think you should go down. Goodbye.